I'm going to show you a couple of 6 million IQ topology tricks for hard surface modeling in Blender. I got this question from one of my patrons. He wanted to know what's the correct way to model this piece around a drill head. So that's what we're going to do in this video. And if you want to ask me a question, you can do so in our Discord server in the description, or you can send me an email to the address in the description. Now let's get started. So in this situation, it's quite obvious that we're going to want to start with a circle, but the question is, how many vertices do we want that circle to have? So we go Shift A, we go to Mesh, we add a circle, and in this Add Circle menu, we decide how many vertices we want. Now, we need to talk about this for a second. If we take a look at the reference image here, we can't really see all the way around, and I don't really got one of these lying around within arm's reach. So I'm just going to count approximately 1/4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, approximately 10 steps on 1/4. That means, let's say we got 40 steps around the entire thing. So if we got 40 steps, that's the first number that we have to consider. But then we also have to take into consideration the fact that each of these bumps, each of these ridges is going to have 4 vertices to it. So for example, if we take this default circle, you can see it goes something like this. We make one of these steps. First, we got an edge going up, then we got another edge at the top, then we got another edge going down, and then we have a gap here between the next segment. So this is the part that we're going to have to copy and repeat and arrange in a circle if we want to complete this thing. So we want 40 steps, we want 4 edges per step. 40 times 4 is 160. But let me just throw this in there as well. You're often going to have to consider things that you might have to do further down the line when you're modeling something. So for example, in this situation, we're going to have an object right here which is divided into 3 parts, which means that object is going to have a number of edges which is a multiple of 3. Now this is a separate object, however it is circular, and when you combine 2 circular objects and when you bring them close together as they are in this situation, if they have a different number of edges, you might be able to see that it's not a perfect match. It's going to look a little bit inconsistent and busted up. In this case, you can see what happens when you try to match a circle with 24 vertices with another circle that has only 23 vertices. You can see that the gap here is not very consistent at all. Now, of course, this becomes less of an issue if you have more vertices. So if we try to connect a circle with 128 vertices to a circle with 129 vertices, the difference between the gap width here is so small that it's almost negligible. But you want to keep this in mind because sometimes it's going to be important, and unless you want to crank up the subdivision surface modifier, you probably want to try and make this perfect. So just on general principle, I'm going to create a circle which is divisible by both 3 and 4, and it's going to be very close to 160 because that's going to allow us to create 40 steps in a circle. The closest number to 160 which is divisible by 3 and 4 is 156, so we're going to set the number of vertices to 156, and we're going to move on from there. So now let's move over here to the side where we got one of these axes. We're going to take an edge from over here and we're going to lift it up, so that's going to be our first step. We're going to fill that with F, then we're going to take this edge right next to it as well. Invert the selection, delete all the other edges. We don't want them right now. Go to Add Modifier, Generate. You're going to add an Array Modifier. Set the X offset to 0. Then we have to set the rotation here to 360 divided by a number that we get from dividing 156 by 4. So 156 divided by 4 is 39. And 360 divided by 39 is exactly 9.23. That's the exact angular difference between the first and the last vertex in one of these sections here. So now, remember, it was 39, so that means 39 steps, so we want to set the count here to 39. Guys, this is some high IQ shit. Where else did you see something like this? Make sure you subscribe to the fucking channel and like the video too while you're at it, because you're not going to see this type of shit everywhere else. Everybody's talking about AI and the new Blender update. Now we're going to take these edges from the bottom, we're going to extrude them downwards. And take a look over here. This is where we fucked up, because this edge over here is very long and this one's very short. That's not a clean circle, so we're going to do this instead. Get rid of these 2 edges over here. Place the cursor down here at the bottom, and now select these 3 edges. Pivot point the 3D cursor, you're going to extrude them and scale them down to 0 on the z-axis. Make sure you recalculate your normals, make sure you merge your vertices by distance, and there you go. Now we got a nice clean circle. So now we have to take these edges from the top, we're going to place the 3D cursor in the middle, we're going to extrude them and scale them down with Shift Z. That's just going to exclude the z-axis from the scaling operation because we don't want this to go inwards like this. So we scale it with Shift Z to approximately this radius, and now you can see we're getting somewhere. So now, well, we have to apply this array modifier here because that's going to realize these copied instances, and we're going to take these edges over here, we're going to extrude them and lift them up on the z-axis and scale them to 0. And if I was just a regular Blender 3D YouTuber, I would tell you to select these edge loops over here, select all the edges which you want to bevel now so you can sharpen them when they're under the influence of a subdivision surface modifier. Press Ctrl B to bevel them, scroll up once to turn this into 2 segments, set the profile shape to 1, set the miter outer shape to arc, and that's going to sharpen up your corners. But this is already in 3D, so over here we're operating with an unprecedented level of intelligence, and here's what we're gonna have to do instead. Instead of just beveling like this, which creates an n-gon down here, it sends these edge segments into all these different directions. It makes all this shoot up. We got more n-gons over here. Everything doesn't work properly. We're going to do the following. First of all, undo all this. You're gonna place the 3D cursor onto this corner at the bottom. Take this edge segment here. You're gonna scale it up to 0 on the Z. Merge your vertices by distance. Do the same thing over here at the top with this edge segment. And now, well, we got some triangles which we gotta take care of, and the only way we can really do that is to add a loop cut here and scale it down, and do the same thing on the inside over here. We got another 76 surfaces where we're gonna do the same thing one more time, and I don't want to sit here all day, so instead we have to split this into new segments. We're gonna add a loop cut here and another loop cut over here to the next segment. And now check this out. Mark those two edge segments as seams with Control E. In face select mode, press L to select everything else and delete it. Go back to your array modifier. So generate array, you're gonna set the same settings that we had before, and we're gonna zoom in on this part, add a loop cut here and a loop cut here on the other side. Take those two edges created by the loop cut. You're gonna slide this one inwards a little bit like this. That's a factor of 0.6. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Notice how I'm holding down Control just so I can snap these exactly the same way. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here on the front like this. So I'm just gonna add a loop cut and scale it down. Take this segment here and extrude it downwards. Take this segment over here and extrude it upwards. Make sure to mark those new edges as seams, because in a second when we apply the array modifier, we're gonna want to get rid of all these segments which we created between the sections. And to do that, we just want to press Shift G, select similar seam after selecting one of them, and then we can just press X dissolve edges. And now we got this made with perfect quads only topology. So now we can start thinking about beveling. But by the way, we fucked up one more time, so we got to go back a couple of steps to before we apply the array modifier, because what we should do is mark all the edges which we want to bevel in a moment, so that I don't have to go manually selecting them all afterwards, even though I could probably just use select similar face angles in this situation. But in case you can't, here's another trick that you might want to keep in mind. You select all the edges which we want to select later on once we apply the array modifier, or we select the edges which later on we want to be able to select easily for whatever reason. We're going to mark those edges as sharps for no reason other than to give those edges a unique attribute which none of the other edges have, so that when we apply the array modifier and when we select one of the sharp edges, we can go Shift G, select similar sharpness, and it's going to select all the edges and only the edges which are marked as sharps. So that allows us to instantly select and bevel all these edges. Of course, before we do that, we need to merge vertices by distance, take all the seams, X dissolve edges, and now we can select all the sharps and we can bevel them with Control B. And when you create your bevels, you want to make sure to uncheck loop slide, just because that gives you a better shape. And now once again, we want to separate this into little segments which we're going to duplicate with the array modifier in a moment. And before we duplicate it, we're going to take this vertex here, join it with this one with J, do the same thing on the other side and over here in the front. That's going to ensure you have quads only, because you don't want to have n-gons, because n-gons don't work very well under the influence of a subdivision surface modifier. It's one of the things I talk about in my free topology guide, which you can find down in the description. Anyway, now after we've done that, now finally one more time, we can use the array modifier, or better yet, we can just use a spin tool with our 3D cursor in the middle. We check use duplicate, set the number of steps to 39, delete this extra segment over here, select everything, merge by distance, dissolve all these seams over here, and there you go. Now we got this shape here with absolutely perfect sub D topology. You can check whether you got quads only by selecting a quad, and then in face select mode, pressing Shift G, select similar polygon sides. That's going to select all the faces which have the same number of polygon sides, which is 4 in this case. Then you press Control I to invert the selection. That's going to select everything else which was not selected, which means it's going to select all the faces which do not have 4 edges around them. And in this case, nothing got selected, which means we don't got no faces which are not quads. So there you go. If you like this video, I got a million other Blender tips in my Blender Masterclass course, which you can check out down in the description. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know down below what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.